And welcome to WDUN Sports Talk on a rainy Wednesday. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. Mr. Morgan Lee. This is a part of the year where Morgan and I completely just go our separate ways as far as what we're really interested in. And I say that because all week long I've been concentrating on Braves baseball and Georgia Tech basketball's new hire. Meanwhile, Morgan is, of course, he's doing the high school sports because... shoot, that's your job. And you're going to be doing some Georgia football stuff, too. We differ, but I think it's a beautiful thing.
Sure, absolutely. Variety is the spice of life, right?
It is a spice of life.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about all the different things we were just mentioning. But let's start with high school sports, since that's our backbone, since that's our core, our heart. It's where we are. And we'll start a very interesting situation in baseball over the last week or so. One score to give you that really just sent everything in a different way as far as Region 8 AAA is concerned. Lumpkin County going out and beating White County by a 5-3 score. And now that sets up, I guess we like to call it in the sports world, a log jam.
Yeah, we've got North Hall, Gainesville, and White County all sitting there at 9-2 in the region. Still a very long way to go. We're about halfway through 24-game region schedule, so we've still got a ways to go. But as of right now, those three teams are locked in a tie for first place. They've all, kind of beaten each other. North Hall beat White County to start the season. White County beat Gainesville, and then Gainesville beat North Hall just last week. So you've got three teams with a lot of talent, a lot of ability, and it's going to be interesting to see how those three, if they can separate themselves through the rest of the way.
Yeah, and it's has it always been like that? It's just been a long region regular season schedule, and then you go to the state playoffs, or have they ever had like a region kind of tournament?
I think because the time since I've been here, mm-hmm. which is 3 years now, it has just been a region schedule, but.
I was trying to remember back too, because I've been doing it for like 6 years, and I can't remember. I don't think
when I was with the Times, I didn't do a lot of baseball when I was with the Times. I was I was the soccer guy. So
yeah, it makes it a little more interesting. I mean, you have to beat these guys, and you can't rely on the tournament.
Yeah, it's much more of a professional type setup where it's all based on how you do over long haul mm-hmm. versus just getting hot for a weekend.
Yeah.
So I think generally that gives you the better idea of who's the best team.
Yeah, exactly. So on Tuesday, White County loses. North Hall gets the win against Oconee County 7-2. Gainesville beats Walnut Grove 15-5. So you mentioned those three teams: White County, North Hall, Gainesville, all tied. And they're all going to play each other. So you're thinking, okay, well, whoever comes out of that is probably going to end up winning this thing. But you look at a team like Lumpkin County. They could play a little spoiler. They don't have the best region record in the world, but they could end up playing a little bit of spoiler in this whole thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Lumpkin County has beaten both White County and Gainesville now. They're sitting there. They're only, I think, 6-5 in the region. But the fact that they've beaten both those teams tells you that they've certainly got some talent. I mean, Oconee County's still not too far out of it. I think they've actually been swept by the big three so mm-hmm. far, but they've got the talent to at least battle for that fourth spot, if not bounce back and do better. Walnut Grove is not an awful team, but really I think frankly you've got those three teams and everybody else is just battling for fourth.
Yeah, it's one of the things about baseball though. You get a pitcher on a good day, and next thing you know, you got a loss against a team that, at least on paper, you shouldn't lose to. So it's going to be interesting. Still a long way to go in the baseball season. Soccer, all the good teams, they just keep right on rolling. I don't know what the gap is between the really good teams and the teams in the lower echelon are in soccer, but it seems like it's Gainesville and Johnson rolling along.
Yeah, kind of how it has been over the past few seasons. Certainly Gainesville trying to defend a state title this year. I think. I've seen both Gainesville and Johnson several times now this season. Both of them extremely talented, very different styles. It's going to make for a really interesting game when they match up on April 15th. If both of them keep winning the way they have been, that game will decide the region title. And that's just going to be absolutely huge because those two teams really don't like each other, and all these kids have played against each other for years in the club system and that sort of thing. So they get a chance to do it for school pride. It kind of takes on even more of a dislike
Right.
I guess. Like I said, should be a very interesting game. I don't expect either one of those teams to lose between now and then, but Gainesville's got a very tough game on Thursday against North Hall. Going up to North Hall is never easy. I've been in that situation before. And
coming down on the bad side of that one.
Yeah, in fact, I injured myself in that game.
There you go.
Back in 1995.
North Hall is cursed to Morgan Lee. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to start anything.
No, absolutely not. No, it was, back then everybody that was playing for North Hall was a friend of mine, basically. So
yeah.
Anyway, it was it's gonna be rainy for the rest of the week. Which, speaking of which, we've already had 4 baseball games postponed for today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then reschedule.
The rain, and when are they going to make those things up?
Rescheduled for Thursday, but there's more rain in the forecast Thursday, so.
Now, soccer is supposed to be played in the rain, but I guess in high school they really
no. I was going to say it's just the baseball games that have been postponed.
Okay, all right,
soccer will be played unless the field's just unplayable.
The manly sport of soccer, they play through everything.
Well, I mean, there's no point not. I mean,
that's true.
The ball doesn't really, it gets soaked, but it certainly doesn't, turn it to mush like it does in baseball.
Yeah, that's very true. So, interesting matchup between Gainesville and North Hall in soccer, and we'll see what happens with baseball. Baseball? What? It's a Wednesday as we record this. Opening day for the Atlanta Braves is tomorrow. Morgan Lee's throwing a party at his house. We'll give you all the information on that. We'll take a break. We will talk some baseball. We will talk some football as well as we continue. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. We'll be right back.
At Riverside Pharmacy, if you have questions, they have answers. If you don't have time, they won't make you wait. If you need special items, Riverside Pharmacy can order them. They want to be your pharmacy, and that's what sets them apart. Service. And just inside Riverside is the Gift Nook, where you'll find more great service in a new line of beautiful wall plaques and great colorful bags. Shop the Gift Nook in Riverside Pharmacy in the old Sherwin-Williams building on Green Street.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced, professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville. North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9, WDUN. Now 2 stations strong, AM 550, FM 102.9, WDUN.
Rolling along here on WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. Coming up, Morgan Lee is going to be heading up the road to Athens. When are you making that trip?
That would be tomorrow, 31st, my birthday.
You're going to birthday? Are you going to Athens for your birthday?
Yeah.
That means you're going to some really awesome restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning on at least going for lunch. I don't know exactly where yet, but, lunch and then dinner, so I've got a couple things in mind.
Very good. Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Early. No place you'd rather be than University of Georgia around the football team.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much so. All right, well, we'll get to that in just a little bit. I do want to mention, though, it is Braves' season opener comes up tomorrow, and that's when everything gets started. They're going to be in Washington to take on the Nationals. You going to watch that game? 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Well, I don't know. I'll be on the road at that point. So if they've got a TV over at the athletic center, I'm sure I'll be able to watch some of it. Because I mean, even though I'm not the biggest baseball fan in the world, certainly there is something unique about opening day. And if I have a chance to watch it, I will watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. So all right. So being a football fan, you get excited about baseball when? August? Or then you're even concentrating on football. See, here's the problem with football and baseball, because it's like right around the time that even non-baseball fans get excited about baseball in the playoffs, trying to make the push, that's when football gets started.
Yeah, baseball, it's so, it's one of those games that, I grew up a big baseball fan, and it just kind of, I don't know if I just got jaded or what, but again, opening day is cool. Mm-hmm. I enjoy going to a game live. It's just I don't know. I think like everything, we've gotten so just over. overused to seeing game after game after game. It was. I know with the Braves, you always had every game on television, but I kind of, in the old days, I liked it better when there weren't as many sports on television, so it was a little bit more special and unique, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess really, yeah. I mean, I would say about August is kind of the biggest deal. And frankly, segueing into your stuff, I mean, sometimes it's more exciting to go see a Gwinnett Braves game just because you get a chance to be right there, and it's certainly kind of more fun for me as a journalist to go down to Gwinnett and talk to those guys because last year I got to talk to a lot of guys who are going to be with Atlanta this year, and when you talk to them at Gwinnett, most of them are just so kind of, hey, how's it going?
Right, exactly.
Happy to talk to you. It'd be very, they're not the Nuke LaLoosh's of the world, I guess.
That's very true. No, they are. It is kind of fun watching these guys kind of grow up, and we've seen guys at Gwinnett through the years that have, we got to say Jason Hayward just for a little bit. Got to see a guy like Freddie Freeman, Tommy Hanson a couple years ago. It's always nice to have those guys that are really going to be the next big stars for Atlanta. Some interesting news that came out. General Manager Frank Wren said is that Julio Teheran, who's like the biggest pitching prospect to come along for the Braves, at least since Tommy Hanson, and really I've heard as much talk of it, not more about Teheran than I have about Hanson. He could start at AAA. Everybody was saying he's going to start at AA, but he might. They said that it's in the realm of possibility that Teheran could pitch at AAA Gwinnett this year, which would be really cool to see. If you have him and a guy like Mike Minor, who was the number one pick for the Braves or the first round draft pick for them, it's cool to see these guys, and we were kind of wondering, okay, well, who's it going to be that's going to be playing for Gwinnett that's really like, hey, that guy next year or 2 years from now is going to be a bona fide star. There might be guys on that team, but that's one of those guys. It's going to be interesting seeing a 20-year-old kid who throws like 96, 97 regularly. He's a starting pitcher. I mean,